Hi, this is Zach with the Bulletin Board Heroes here at Zach's Traders Cafe for Monday, the 22nd of January. Starting off with the FTSE 100, which seems to have enjoyed the rebound off the 7,400 level. Obviously, we're not quite at record levels like the US is, but maybe it's early days. Initial resistance around 75.60, the area of the 50 and 200-day moving averages. Above that, and only above that, are we looking for a move back to 7,700 plus, which is basically the top of the post-June range. Below 7,400, if that happens, which hopefully won't, then the next levels down are really towards 7,280, 7,300. But well, that rising trend channel there from August, and hoping that that will seal the deal for the bulls. Moving along to the DAX, and here, just trying to break that line of resistance there from back in December. That was around 16,700. End of day close above that, and we could be looking to the top of that October rising trend channel as high as 17,800 by the end of next month. Ideally, we stay on the right side of 16,500 in the meantime. That was the old July resistance, and that's become new support for the bulk of January. On to the state at the Dow, and here, lovely end to the week with that breakthrough 37,800. We're in a very steep, and probably too steep, rising trend channel from October. At the top of the channel there, heading towards 39,300, which is our target for the end of next month, while we remain above recent support in the 37,000 area. It was good to see the RSI bounce above neutral 50. That tends to be a leading indicator on the upside. Bitcoin is next, and here is still a bit soggy after its excitement over the ETF situation. Here we're hopefully just bumping along the bottom of that rising trend channel from August. We were factoring in down to 40,000 even after we peaked through 49,000, and we might still have to factor in down to 38,000, the initial November resistance for this market, but hopefully no lower than that. RSI looking rather flabby below the 40 level after the failure at neutral 50, which obviously so far has been a successful leading indicator on the downside. As far as a fresh momentum signal is concerned, the first one would be an end of day close above the 50-day moving average at 43,000 to then give us a retest of the 50,000 area sometime by the end of next month. It was good to see gold do rather better at the end of last week, and in fact we had an unfilled gap to the upside through that line of resistance from the beginning of last month. Above 2050, looking for 2100, which was the late December resistance area. The rising trend channel there from March last year, ultimately pointing to as high as 2160 by the end of next month, and want to see this market stay on the right side of the 200-day line at 1980. Moving on to the stocks, and quite a few obscure ones. The first one is Alphawave, and here you can see that we've gapped up through a line of resistance in the 200-day moving average at £1.24, the line of resistance at 127. Above 127, looking for up to a late September resistance line projection at £1.56 by the end of next month. Beowulf Mining has been in the wars of late, and hoping that the latest price action is a signal that we're turning around. We've got a bear trap iron reversal, so we gapped down, then gapped up. Solid candle today, and if we can close above the 50-day moving average at 1.47 pence, we could be looking for 1 3/4 pence by the end of next month. So hopefully that is finally turning around. One of the bear targets is Bidstack, and at the moment, though, over the last month, they might have been slightly disappointed, but had an unfilled gap to the upside. We found support at and above the the top of the December gap at 0.48, and the longer we stay above 0.48, the greater the chance of not only the initial target we had here at 0.65, but actually as high as 1.1 pence by the end of next month. That would be good pie in the face to the bears, I think, if that mapped out. Stock which doesn't get much coverage at all is CPP Group, but here we've had a breakthrough, a rising 50-day moving average of 147 pence. Above that, we're looking for a move to 177 pence at the top of that broadening triangle there from back in August. Obviously, we'd like to see the shares remain on the right side of £1.40 recent support in the meantime. We had a blip to the upside for Ceres Power, and here we've had an inside day breakout to start the week above Friday's resistance at £2.17, looking for £2.50 over the next couple of weeks, and then back by an uptrend line there in the RSI window. We've already had a bear trap reversal, so bear trap gap reversal backing through the 50-day moving average at £1.83, and that has worked well so far. Moving on to Deltic, and here you can see that we've had a nice turnaround, rising trend channel base, so we hit our initial target there at 26 pence, and above the 200-day moving average at 27 pence, looking for a pretty swift move up to 34 pence, the upper parallel of that rising trend channel from November, and we could see that over the next 2 weeks or even sooner, given how strong the bear trap reversal, gap reversal has been back through the 50-day line, which is now rising. Eden is in play as well at the moment. It's good to see it being strong against the wishes of the bulls, with another gap to the upside today. Looking for the shares to hit that red resistance line projection from August at 7.4 pence as soon as the end of this month, especially while we remain above the 200-day moving average at 5.6 pence. Big news today, double news from Empire Metals, both on the ground and in terms of raising money. Another unfilled gap to the upside. We had one last month. It seemed to have one a month on this stock. And above the floor of the trend channel there at 11 pence, we're looking for the top of the rising trend channel from September, as high as 18 pence by the end of next month. Next one is another one which is relatively obscure, but couldn't resist looking at the chart. Frontier IP, and here we're breaking the 50-day line for the first time properly since October. Above that at 38 pence, looking for up to 50 pence by the end of next month, or hopefully much sooner. It's a bear trap rebound from below the September support there at 38 pence as well. One for the train spotters next, in the form of Hornby, and here we've broken neckline resistance there from last month at 17 pence. Above that, looking for 23 or 24 pence by the end of next month. We're breaking the 200-day line for the first time properly since the beginning of 2022, so there may be something stirring there at Hornby over the near term. The 50-day line also rising, so that gives extra momentum to the cause. News today from Keras, and here you can see that we're just trying to turn around after the bear trap below the old support there from April, around 3.7 pence. We need to see an end of day close above that so that we can get back up to May resistance of 5 pence by the end of next month. If you're cautious, you should wait for an end of day close back above the 50-day line at 3 3/4 pence. One of the stars of the show here over the recent past has been Oriole Resources, and would say you heard it here first because I don't think it's been mentioned anywhere else at all. Here we had a falling wedge break and a break of the 50-day line around 0.08 pence. The initial target was at 0.14, the second target 0.24, third target 0.32, and rather boringly the fourth target at 0.47, and that's where we are at the moment. I won't upgrade the upside at this stage because we've still to get an end of day close 3.47, but shares have done very well indeed. Ideally we stay on the right side of the gap floor there at 0.38. That's the main goal, obviously, for a retest of today's peak at 0.55. Another stock which doesn't get a mention very often is Smartspace, and just couldn't resist looking at this after the couple of gaps higher that we've had. And not really a charting situation now, given the fact that we've risen so much, but top of that broadening triangle there for people who are in the stock is up to £1.20, so maybe that's a number to think about while we're above the old resistance from last month at 75 pence mid. Finishing off with the situation with a couple of stocks here now, more acquisitions. Here we had a massive gap to the upside on placing news, and the shares actually hit an old resistance line projection target there at 0.86. That's still the upside for the shares. I suppose there is a gap down there from 0.95, so maybe that's another level to look at, but we're feeling more perky about the situation while we're above the 200-day line and post-July resistance at 0.63. That's really the message there, that above 0.63 we could still have further upside for that situation. Finishing on with Vast, where one looks at it with trepidation, given that there was a potential fundraise waiting in the wings, but here the shares have gapped through the 50-day moving average at 0.12. Above that, we're looking for 0.21 by the end of next month, especially while we remain above recent support at 0.1. But ideally, no mid-close below 0.12 ahead of a move towards 0.2 pence. That's it for me today. More updates tomorrow.